Good morning, welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. Right, my challenge for today is to squeeze 7 no edits, 7 topics into 1 cup of coffee. So with that said, today's topics are Martin's question over the Taranis, 3 thank yous are required, the FMS Edge 540 rolls. I only just spotted this when I went back and reviewed the footage. Really curious on that one. The Reaktor has been built. We'll have a quick overview of that model. Also, I spotted yesterday 200, potentially 400 propellers for $9.99. And a random idea for an online meetup with an RC simulator. Actually, and there is a 7th topic, which is about this battery. I'm a bit concerned actually. It only arrived literally yesterday. And in fact, why don't we start with that one? Give me a second. I'll go and grab the photo. I popped this one charged 2.6 amps, so half C. And where's my camera uploads? Chop. Waiting for my camera to catch up. And then that happened. So it terminated out after putting 4,346 milliampere hours in there for after 2 hours. Is that normal? Brand new pack? The others didn't do that. Bit concerned about that one. What do you think? And again, feel free to hit pause and let me know about that one. There's no heat in the pack. It's not puffed or anything like that. It literally just timed out. I can't remember the other 3 packs of these which I've got which doing the same. So, bit of an odd one. And do note I did use a different battery charger last time when the other ones arrived. So that might be normal. But 4,346 milliampere hours does seem quite a lot. And should I be surprised about the timeout? Yeah, it's tried to put that amount of milliampere hours in there, that amount of current, and it was only on half C. So I don't know. Should I be concerned or not? Do let me know in the comment section underneath this episode. So with that said, let's move on to today's topic. So Martin asked, righto, serious question. I have a Fly Sky and 2 DX6Is. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm taking a piss. Both quite good radios themselves, but particularly not particularly overloaded with features. Just how good is the FR Sky radio? The new one just out at $100 looks amazing. Is it worth sacking my free handsets for this one? Then Martin, you go on and mention that you've got like a bit of a inner nerd and like to fiddle with stuff. So yeah, I think honestly, you would be utterly amazed by the flexibility which you would get in a Taranis. Now, whether that is a full-blown Taranis Plus or a cheaper version, I don't know. In short, they are, well, basically the cheaper version runs nigh on the same software as what this one does. And the customization you can have in it is just unreal. So Martin, and of course for anybody else who's interested in the Taranis and want to see what the kind of flexibility you have, I'm going to put 2 links to these 2 playlists. Now, the chap's name is actually Lee Schofield. He's Painless 360 and is fantastic. Loads and loads of episodes on lots of cool stuff, in short. Mainly focused towards quads, unfortunately. But on the flip side, nobody's perfect. And basically, I will put links to 2 playlists in here. And the reason I'm putting 2 playlists is because the first playlist, which I'm going to share with you, is this one, which is like, oh, you can change the colours on the screen from like amber to white or blue. That may interest you. And there's lots of like odd mixes and things which you can do with the Taranis or OpenTX. So Martin, that's the one which I'm going to suggest for you to go and have a quick look at so that you can kind of see some of the cool stuff which you can do. But do note this is around the Taranis, not the Taranis QX7 or whatever it was called yesterday. The other playlist which I'm going to share with you, and it's probably the one which you really do need to watch, is around the Taranis, and it's all like the basics of the Taranis setup, etc, etc. Okay, so I'll put both those links in there. The Taranis, there's like 3 ways which you can do exactly the same task in the Taranis, and it is quite a learning curve to begin with, let's be frankly honest here, but setting up a new model for me now, bang bang bang, jobs are good. Straightforward as that, including rate switches and things like that. Oh, and a quick heads up, there is a video, an episode due for myself on how to set up a safety switch with audio alerts. And I've also got the rate switch as well. And by the way, I want to stress this. I run fly mode 2, so I have the throttle on the left. The right side, by the way. Sorry. But I have mode 2, so I've got the throttle on the left. Massive tip for you. I've said it before in other episodes, but always keep things which make you think about what you need to do, like rate switches, on the left-hand side of your transmitter. Undercarriages, for example, or flaps, or something like that. Something which you like have to pause for like a nanosecond, think about what you're doing. Put it on the left-hand side of your transmitter, because even if you're a pincher or a thumbs guy like myself, is that if you have to like crow your hand around and try and click, like flick, that is not like a natural action to do that on a transmitter. And that is why I stuffed the Hurricane, which I own, in quite some time ago. It's because that switch there was the flap switch, when really it should have been that one up there. Okay, so if you're going to put anything complicated on or it requires you to think about what you're doing on your transmitter, put it on the left hand side of your transmitter. Also, I also go against the common norms. Normally, it's that you have maximum control when all the sticks or all the switches are facing away from you. In my instance, I generally have this in reverse. My rate switch is this one here. I can easily just flip my index finger up to go like that to change the rates on there, and I have mine coming towards me. So my premise, and again it's against the norm, most pilots have their setup all the directions away from them for more control, but for me my logic is like, come here. All right, just like that. It's like I have this relationship with like the physical world, and it's like, come here. So my return to home is that. And that's the same as me going, come home. And that's exactly the same setup which I use for all my models, which have got the vector in them. It's these two back switches. It's like, come here. And it's a very natural reaction for me to do that now. And the same with the rate switch up here, is that I click forwards, is that I want, come here. I want more control, come towards me, like physically. All right, so anyway, like I said, I'm trying to keep this to one coffee chat. One coffee in a single chat. So Martin, those links are in those playlists are in the video description for you. And anybody who's got a question about the Taranis, please just ask. I'll do my best to help. And I might even say just go and have a look at the playlist, because it is, like I said, there's typically 3 ways you can do exactly the same task in the Taranis, because it is so configurable. And maybe that is the biggest downside to the Taranis, is because it can be so configurable. You can get overwhelmed with the features and functionality in the actual transmitter itself. So there is a negative side to it. Right, next topic is 3 thank yous. Number 1 is to Sir Andrew Newton. Thank you for the mention yesterday, and that Magnum looks really cool, really cool. And yeah, looking forward to that one flying. The other one was a big thank you to Sir Bruce for his mention and link back to the channel about the glues. By the way, the S800, if you can get hold of either Zap glue, so that's Zap Goo, so Goo glue, not one of their CAs, it's Zap and then it's Goo, little tube, or Goop plumbing glue, or Goop marine glue. Okay, that is the glue which I've used on my S800, and you've seen the amount of abuse which I gave that model, and it really has stood up to it. How many? Well, we had 2 extra times in the tree, so thank you, Sir Bruce, for that. Also, I would like to say thank you to Andrew. So Andrew popped round yesterday, and we'll get to the topic of the reactor, which is down there on the floor. Thank you, Andrew, for popping yours around yesterday. It was really nice to see what Andrew had been and done with his setup. And I remember exactly the same thing which I had with my Hummer 3D as well. I saw what one of the other pilots had done with theirs, with like the servo placement in the back, and that helped me progress my model on an awful lot quicker. So Andrew, thank you ever so much, and go and check out some of Andrew's episodes. He is a massive slope soarer, and what he doesn't know about slope sawing is not basically not worth knowing. In short, and you'll also see me and Dave and Craig and whatever else in a couple of his episodes as well, just mucking around on the slope. So I'll put a link to Andrew's YouTube channel in the top, that side, isn't it? Right hand corner as well for him. Next topic is the FMS. I didn't spot this. Now, I'm going to maximize this out, so I don't know how well this is going to come out. Well, let me do that. So let me just turn the sound off. Now, what I want you to do is watch the line which I enter the rolls on. Now, to the best of my knowledge, I put absolutely no rudder movement in on the model to correct it. So if you watch now, so I'm going to come round. There's me mucking around. I'm sure it's here. Yeah, it's still me mucking around. Apologies, I must have gone back too far. So, right, there. Let me just pause. Let me just rewind that a second. And go back. Oh, I've gone too far, haven't I? Apologies. I thought I had this prepared. Right. Notice this angle. So we're going up here to about this line here in the distance. So keep that in... Well, we're actually off over here. So keep that in the back of your mind. So we now go into the first roll. We bank up. And over. Now keep watching. Right, I have moved off a slight degree or so on there. So I'm using that as a reference, so we're there by that little double tree just there. Keep going over. I've gone slightly too far. Basically, exactly the same line. Do I go up over again? Got to be quicker. Yeah. That is how well trimmed that model is in. I'm used to flying wings, and when we do loops in flying wings, invariably I end up going over that way or over that way. And I just wanted to make the point is that that really was like the most precise model I have ever flown. For me to do a loop in a flying wing, normally we skirt out one way or skirt out the other way or something like that. And I know some of you can just say it's just down to trim. But I genuinely get that with all my flying wings in some shape or form, is that we rarely do perfect loops around with correction, without correction in the stick. I'm 99% sure I didn't put any rudder in that to straighten it out, and we've literally only moved over a couple of degrees. And I was like really shocked on that one yesterday. So was it yesterday, or it might have been the day before when I spotted it. But yeah, minor detail, but when I said that was like the most precise model I have ever flown, that really was the most precise model I've ever flown, and that kind of proved it to me. It was like, wow, look at that! And I went for like rewound it and was like, whoa, look at that! It was like normal is perfect on the way in, and then on the way out, and then did it 3 times, and wow, really, really cool. Right, next topic is the reactor has been built. So this arrived from Hobby King yesterday. All in all, quite a nice kit, to be honest. It's very soft EPP, and remember, I'm now used to using, and I got to hold it that way around because I've got some E6000 on a couple of pieces just to help it withstand my flying in dirt and stuff like that. Where was I going to say? So it arrived yesterday, and what have I got on my notes in here? In short, I added too much carbon, so if I turn her over, I put an extra carbon spar in here, and I put 2 carbon strips down each wing because the wings felt really, really bendy, like really like unsatisfactorily bendy. So I didn't like that. I've also put some carbon rod in the ailerons to get some more authority out of them. And again, they probably would have been fine, but I've got some carbon here for the sake of 2 minutes, just putting a slit in, bit of carbon. Happy days. Oh, and that's where the epoxy tip episode came out yesterday, because I wanted to epoxy in my control horns on my ailerons. Again, I know that they'll stay in there, and the bit of spread out of epoxy will also give us some better grip on that aileron, because I thoroughly intend spanking this one around the sky. I didn't like what they had set up. Now, I don't know what you're going to be able to see that. I hope you can see that, but basically I've got an ID card, and that is on both sides of the rudder, and you'll also notice I also got another carbon spar up there, which wasn't provided, but because my intention for this model is for me to learn to basically learn 3D, that all basically boils down to rudder. That's it. It's rudder. Rudder is the main input, really, and something which I don't normally use because I'm normally flying wings. So I've put a carbon spar in there. I've put sandwiched it either side of the control horn with some just ID card, gift card either side, so we got much more authority down there. Now they did provide these little control lines for moving the rudder and the elevator, and frankly honest, I thought that was not very good. And I've gone and put my own control horns in there. Let's have a quick look. Oh yeah, the top surface, the one thing which has really annoyed me, right, there's the model, it's flat. Can you see what's wrong with that top surface? Is it on the P? So if you ever buy one of these, for goodness sake, make sure that top level's flat, because they didn't cut it flat, and now my little fin on the top is on the piss. And I don't even know if I can get that off sanely because I've goop glued it on. What on earth? So, oh yeah, and the landing gear, complete joke. You might as well not included that in the kit. That is just some carbon fiber rods stuffed in either side and some useless wheels. So I haven't even bothered putting that on my kit. Instead, what I've been and done is taken those little pieces of foam and I've stuck them on the wingtips. Like so. Instead, just to help to protect the wingtips. Now, they are skewed inwards a little bit. I don't know what effect that's going to have, whether it's going to be a positive... Excuse me, whether it's going to be a positive effect or a negative effect. I don't know, but I can tell you, it looks really cool. So, yeah, between me and the wife, we got that one knocked up yesterday. Really straightforward. It is just a little bit tacky. I've just stuck some more E6000 glue along the bottom sides and along the leading edges of the wings as well, just to help it stand up to the kind of abuse which I'm likely to be giving it very shortly, because today is a flying day and that one will be going out for a maiden today. Next topic, and how are we doing for time? Damn it, we got 3 minutes. Sorry, trying to keep it to 20 minutes tops. Right, next topic is Banggood. Spotted this one yesterday, did put a quick video episode out last night about this one. 100 propellers. Now, let me just get this right. There is some confusion here. So what I am going to say is that it's 100 propellers. I have, other people have noted, is that by the looks of it, it's actually 400 propellers. Okay, but just to play on the safe side, they've got 100 in the middle, so that would be 400, but then they say 200 pairs. So Banggood don't have their wording very correct here, so I am going to say 100 propellers, but I do have a sneaky suspicion that it is actually 400 propellers. And again, if we go on and read their description down here, where is it? Yeah, 400 propellers. Again, my maths aren't that good, so let me just quickly do this. $9.99 divided by 400. Oh, I've clicked off the screen. Remember. What's going on with the calculator? Thank you. Oh, I've hit number lock, haven't I? Remember? No edits in here. So that's like 2.5 cents per prop, or as I did the other day, which was, it works out, well, depends on how many you want to put on there. I'm going to say 100, but I think actually in reality you may be getting 400 propellers for like $10, or as I paid £6.66 yesterday because I used some points, or $2 worth of points on the order. I will put a link to this page in the video description for you. So underneath this episode, click on the show more and there will be a link to this page for you. The first couple are only 10 pairs, keep that in the back of your mind, and then look down for the 200 direct drive. They looks like they've got 4x45, 6x45. Yeah, nuts. I've bought some white ones, unbelievable. Oh, and there's and there's some 50-45s in there as well. I did buy the white ones. Now, the negative to buying the white ones is that if we do like buckle one of the blades, is that it won't be obvious that there is a crease in there. But come on, that's like, even for me, that is a lifetime supply of 60-45 propellers. And I've already, well, I'm thinking the Sky Shadow is that I buckled the propeller on that one, just like, oh, I can't be bothered to change it, and just bent it roughly around straight, and then chucked it again. So that really is like a lifetime supply of propellers. And those of you which are knife flyers, aka quad pilots, is that, yeah, knock yourself out. And like I said, I'll put a link to those in the video description for you. Right, I've gone over 20 minutes. The last topic for today's RC Coffee Chat is an open question to you. If we go and choose an RC simulator of some form or whatever, would you be up for joining in one evening, or depending where you are in the world, we'll all join up and we'll take over a room and then have a rag the nuts off session online. So it doesn't matter if you're in Australia or New Zealand or in the United States or in Germany or wherever you are in the world, we can all hook up and chuck some models around together. Now, if that does sound like a good idea, do let us know in the comments section underneath this episode. And also, if you have a suggestion on a simulator which we can do that. I know, by the way, Phoenix RC is my favourite one, but I'm sure we can get hold of any other simulators online. So ideally, a free one, and also ideally one which has the ability to make an online room where many people can come and join. So if you know of a simulator which can do that, do share with me and the rest of us, and you can do that in the comments section underneath this episode. So to quickly recap, we had Martin's question over the Taranis. I'll put both those playlists in the video description for you from Painless 360. We had 3 thank yous, so thank you Andrew, thank you Sir Bruce, and thank you other Andrew as well. And I missed out Sir on Andrew. That wasn't intentional. Sorry, Sir Andrew. We had the FMS rolls as well. Really? When I said precise, I did mean that was a precise model. And I'm sure that if I put some rudder in it, I would have straightened that back out again. Anyway, the reactor has been built. All in all, quite a nice kit. Very soft, spongy EPP compared to like the Team Legit EPP, which I've been used to lately. Yeah, really straightforward. Didn't like the those strings, silly. Oh, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see that underneath there. How's that? Wherever it is, there. I'm trying to feel it, just there. How's that for a control rod? Sorry, servo horn. They did provide some extensions for it. I thought that was a really nice touch. No idea what it flies like. I will know later today. And next topic we had 200 props for $9.99. I thought that was fantastic. I will put links to those in the video description for you. And the last topic was a random idea, and it was actually Tam's idea, not mine. I just want to clarify that. So Tam, fantastic idea, of an online RC meetup in a simulator of some form. Again, which simulator, what time, don't know. Looking for suggestions. So on that note, from myself, Matt, today is a flying day, and I'm really looking forward to going out flying. It's been a stop raining out there. We've just got a bit of cloud cover and no wind at all. It is going to be a perfect day for the reactor. So on that note, from myself, Matt, if you are out flying today, have fun. If you are not out flying today, I'll stick a battery in this one for you, and I really will rag the nuts off it. And I should get some video footage of that one today. It's going to be fun. I'm sure it's going to be fun. And on that note, from myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for joining me today for today's RC Coffee Chat. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheerios!